Hello and welcome to the van build vlog. At the end of the last vlog, which for me was yesterday, I left you with one beginning frame sort of constructed with a lot of glue and screws and cursing. It's right behind me now in the van, not actually screwed in yet, just sitting in place. And now I'm going to have a go at making some more. Let's hope it goes better than yesterday. I'm going to do the bed next, which runs along there. And this bit is part of that, and I'm going to make the bed 2 meters long, so I've deducted that from 2 meters, and I need to make a section that will run along there that's 156 centimeters. Right, that will go like that, with some uprights on it, and then another one over on the right hand side near the wheel arch, and ultimately it will all come together in a beautiful piece of synergy that will form a bed. That's the plan. Okay, that is not looking too bad. Yes, it's going to have a top bit put on top of it, and I'll make another one for over that side, but it's a good start. Let me show you a little trick I picked up from another YouTube video. This piece of string marks the center line of the van, and I took a width reading here and then marked the center. I did the same up there and marked the center, and I ran the string along it, and that's because it is more accurate to measure from the center outwards than from the walls inwards, because the walls are all wiggly, so you can get better measurements if you do it from the middle outwards when it comes to working out whether things like this are actually straight in the van. Lunchtime update. I have added this end piece, which is now gluing on, as you can see. It's almost starting to look a little bit like a bed frame. And I tell you something else, I've discovered the perfect spot for the toilet. End of the bed under my legs, not my head, and it fits perfectly between the wheel arch and the front of that bed section. So that is the Portaloo storage location henceforth. A few videos ago, when I was struggling to cut straight lines using a jigsaw, loads and loads of people commented that I should really just go and buy a portable handheld circular saw. So I have, and now I need to cut a little bit of plywood up just to fill an awkward spot, so this will be the circular saw's first trial run. Well, that was quite interesting to use. Certainly it does cut a much straighter line, even freehand, than the jigsaw, so I can see that is going to come in quite handy. The sun is it's not quite setting, but it's getting on in the evening. I've had quite a busy day, so I think that will do for now. Next time I will probably carry on with more of the same. It is a couple of days later, and I can't quite remember where I left you, but this is how the van is looking now. I've been churning out these wooden constructions, which are both screwed and glued together. The bed on the left is now pretty much done. It needs its slats obviously, but the frame is done, and this is the start of the kitchen unit frame, which I'm now going to put a load more bits on. The gist of my construction technique is essentially to make lots of these square frames to the appropriate sizes as measured in the van, and then bolt them together at right angles to each other, so you end up with a box, and they are being screwed and glued together for strength. It is very definitely not fitted. It's held rather precariously in place by a piece of wood that's just sitting there over there. But this is a first look / test fit at how the Hob and Sink Unit is going to look. Here's the view from the other side. As you can see, you've got the two cook hobs there and the sink there with the water bottle beneath it there. And I've checked all the measurements as regards safety,
from the burner to the back and from the burners above and all that kind of thing, and it's fine.
It's another day. I'm being attacked by wasps, which is quite annoying. And I'll tell you what else is annoying, the fact that this bed frame still looks very much like some sort of skeleton. So even though I've got more skeletoning to make here, I've decided I want to make the bed look a bit more like a bed. So I've been out and bought some stuff to put on the sides and also the slats to go on top. In terms of the sides, I have surprised myself by buying tongue and groove cladding. Now, I know you see a lot of vans with tongue and groove cladding all over the sides and the walls and pretty much everywhere, and I've never really warmed to that look. It looks a bit much like a sauna to me. So yeah, imagine my surprise when I find myself buying tongue and groove cladding to go on the sides of the bed. I think hopefully it'll be enough to make it look nice, but not so much to make it look like a sauna. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to install it. It's going fairly well, and I'm quite pleased so far, but I think it's about to chuck it down with rain, so I'm going to have to stop for the day and finish this off tomorrow. Look at that. Lovely pine cladding. And someone suggested to me that I paint it not with varnish or stain, but a sort of greyish paint so that it matches the floor. Gives it some sort of aged, distressed look. So I might have a go at that. I'm pondering exactly what to do. I've also put the cladding here, and there is a bit that goes here as well, but it's just not standing up. But this is not fastened, it's just standing there by blind faith and gravity at the moment, but I will stick it on at some point. Meanwhile, as you can see, I've also been cutting these bed slats to size to start putting the top on the bed. Again, at the moment they're just resting there apart from those clamps, but I'm going to start screwing some of them in. So very soon I'll have somewhere to actually sit, although I'm going to need to get some cushions, of course. And a few hours later, after much hammering and sawing and screwing things in, we now have slats on the bed, only half of which are actually fixed down. The other half are going to be hinged so that it can act as storage, but that's for another day. Meanwhile, back at base, I've taken delivery of the 2 water containers I'm going to be using, one for fresh water, one for grey water. They're only small, I think they're 13 litres each, but this is a weekend van, so I think that should do, and of course I can always refill or empty as appropriate. And I've also spent part of this afternoon refining the cardboard template that came with the sink unit. There was a rather crude drawing of the cutout you need on the cardboard box, but what you're seeing here is my version of it. I took their version and then made it a bit more detailed, so that the places where the screws come through will have a bit more wood to actually bite into. So hopefully that'll work.